today we're going to study kinds of fraction. There are different kinds of fraction. There are 5 kinds of fraction. The proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed numbers, similar fractions, and dissimilar fractions. Now we're going to discuss the difference of the different fractions. For improper fractions, fractions are that the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And for the improper fraction, fraction wherein the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And for mixed numbers, these are fraction wherein there's a whole number and there's a fraction in it. And similar fractions are fractions that have the same denominator, and dissimilar fractions are fractions that has different denominator. So let's have an example. So when we say improper fractions, an example to that one is 2/3, 1/2, 6/10. Another is 3/5. So these are some of the examples of proper fractions. So as you can see here, I told you a while ago that proper fractions, these fractions are fractions that has a smaller numerator when you compare it from the denominator. So ibig sabihin, ang proper fractions, fractions na kung saan ang numerator ay mas maliit compare siya sa denominator. Okay, so that's proper fraction. For improper fractions, fractions that the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So example of improper fractions are 5/2, 6/3, 9/3, 4/3. Okay, so these are examples of improper fractions. So as you can see, when you compare the numerator and the denominator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, even this one, 6 is bigger than 3, 9 is bigger than 3, 4 is bigger than 3. So in other words, improper fractions, when you look at it, mas malaki yung nasa taas, yung numerator, kaysa yung nasa baba na denominator. So that's the difference between proper and improper fractions. Now we move on to mixed numbers. When we say mixed numbers compose of a whole number and a fraction. An example to this is it's 2 and 3/4. As you can see here, 2 is the whole number and 3/4 is a fraction. Okay, another is 10 and 1/2. So 2 and 3/4, 10 and 1/2. So 10 is the whole number, 1/2 is the fraction. Okay, so mixed numbers, it composes of 2, a whole number and a fraction. So yun yung lagi nyong tatandaan. For a mixed numbers, lagi siyang may whole number at meron din siyang fraction. Okay? Next is similar fractions. Similar fractions are fractions that has the same denominator. Example, these fractions 5/7, 2/7, 3/7, and 1/7. So these fractions are called similar fractions. Why? Because the denominator are the same. So you see, all of these fractions, the denominator is 7. So they have the same denominator, only the numerator that changes. Okay, that's what we call similar fraction. Pareho ang denominator, ang numerator magkakaiba. Okay? Next is dissimilar fraction. From the word itself, dissimilar, ibig sabihin, it's different. So, dissimilar fractions are fractions that have different denominator. Example, This fraction is 2/3, 1/4, 3/5, 1/6. So these fractions, they have different denominator because the denominator of 2/3 here is 3, 1/4 is 4, 3/5 is 5, and 1/6 is 6. So these fractions are called dissimilar fractions. Okay? So that's the difference between a similar fraction and dissimilar fractions. You just need to look at the denominator. So titingnan nyo lang yung nasa baba niya, yung nasa denominator ng fraction. Okay? So kung lahat ng fractions na yon ay pare-pareho ng denominator, then similar fraction siya. Pag ang fractions naman na yon ay magkakaiba ng denominator, then yun ay dissimilar fractions. Okay? At pag ang fraction naman na yon, meron siyang whole number at meron din siyang fraction, then that fraction is called mixed number. Okay? Now, if you are asked to find, if the fraction has a bigger numerator than the denominator, then that fraction is improper fraction. If the numerator is smaller than the denominator, ibig sabihin mas malaki yung nasa baba kaysa yung nasa taas ng fraction na yan, then that fraction is a proper fraction. Okay, so these are the different kinds of fraction. Don't forget the different kind of fraction, okay? Proper, improper, mixed numbers, dissimilar, and also the similar fractions. So that's it for today, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.